there is this concept of what the same product can mean for two different people. You may buy an apple for $10. Somebody else may buy an apple for $20. Apple is apple. Right? Finding the right buyer is important. So, the question is, when you want to earn, and whatever you are quoting, what is the basis for that? So, you've decided that you have a target. This you are converting into hours. Yes. This you are converting into your code. Okay. Yeah. So, how have you arrived at this?
It is it's a pretty expensive thing, like how much it costs, everything, rent, food, bills, everything, plus savings and everything.
Fine. So, this model is called cost curve. There is another model called value based. So value based means you look at what is the value that the other guy gets out of it, and you position yourself accordingly.
Isn't it done a part of negotiation?
But if you have already given him a fee of 500 rupees per hour, then you already set a bar. It says that this is what I operate at. If you are somehow able to figure out what is the value of all these things, then you can think of different things.
All that is dependent on your competitors as well, right? When you are very competitive.
It is exactly where the uniqueness comes in. That is exactly where your identity becomes important. Why did Ambani fly down Beyonce to dance at his daughter's Sangeet?
Oh yeah. She has that magic. But she's a big name.
It's a big name, and there is something unique. One is that there is a brand around it. There is a brand, there is a status attached to it. There is a statement that Ambani is making saying, So similarly, Shah Rukh Khan goes and dances at a lot of marriages. He says it unashamedly as well. So, now how do you decide how much to pay Shah Rukh Khan? There's this funny story, I keep telling it again and again. About 7-8 years back when I started, I had a small office near BMCC. And it had a small training area like this. One day one guy came to me and said, I'm doing a small training program, I need it for 5 days. Can you give it to me? I said, okay, because anyway I will make it. So he said, how much will you charge me for it? I said 500 into 5, 2,500. He took out his checkbook and wrote 12,500 and gave it. So for him, it was worth 2,500 a day. So अगर आप fee 500 का charge कर रहे हो, whereas the other person has in his mind a much higher value, maybe he'll write a check for you for much more. Well, it's two things. One is you have to find the guy who has the ability to write a bigger check, which again goes down to those. But that's the journey of an artist. Yeah. When day one nobody knows you, so you perform. It's like Johnny Deere. Johnny Deere used to be a street artist. Yeah. But then recognition, perform. So he's good at his art, so he keeps moving. Now, this leads to basically the question of your brand. Yeah. Right? What is your approach to building a brand? Because you are the business is you, and you are the brand. Yeah. That brand has to speak. It has to speak all those attributes. Yeah. How do you build it?
I think I need to zero down on one and just work on that. Where you said you just target one of those studios or even that will help me sustain temporarily till I build my brand of my own sound.
There's a balance between bread and butter and long-term brand building.
Yeah.
I mean, like what we are doing right now, we have bread and butter, which is consulting. But we are also investing in building a brand through reach outs like this. Yeah. Where we are saying, we are able to guide people towards scaling up their own businesses. So, we are very clear in our mind what's the brand we want to build. Now the question is, what do you do to build your brand? Firstly, what should you... I think your brand attributes are very clear. Yeah. Creativity, bass guitarist, concepts, fun, entertainment.
But this is very temporary. This is so like stuff that I've zeroed down on, that I'm like, okay, I'm good at these things and I need to do all these things right now to pay the bills. I would like to concentrate on just one. So yeah, I think I'll use all this, concentrate on this.
Yeah, and there is at the apex of everything. Yeah. What's the purpose of your life? Like I told you, the purpose will have four things.
Yeah.
That
Balance of all four. Yeah.
so your purpose needs to have a balance in all four. You need to have a purpose in every sphere. This purpose has to translate into an identity. This identity translates into a brand.
And my brand has to be unique as well.
Yeah, and then this brand will have its attributes. Right? So like you said, creative. So now those attributes are something that you will have to, it should stand for you. And you should be able to identify with it, saying, yes, this is what I am. So what is your brand?
So see, actually just again I keep saying that I want to build my brand as an artist, songwriter. So kind of songs that I are with personal experience of from the society that I come from, conservative Maharashtrian society. and trying to break away from the 9 to 5 routine, doing what I love, trying to motivate others to do the same, and at the same time writing songs in a way that is unique, that no one else currently at least is writing.
Convert this into a brand. We like to look brands like this. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She's a brand. What does she stand for?
Humanity.
Woman power. She stands for woman power. She stands for communication. She stands for courage to speak. If you see her shows, you have people who come and talk about things which they have been suppressing for years. Right? So, Oprah Winfrey created a brand around it, and then in addition to that, she has linked her own personal background, what she came from, what she went through.
So again, coming back to my brand, since I've already decided where I want to be, what brand I want to be. The issue is right now, how can that translate into the current situation I'm in? Like, for example, the main hurdle that I have right now is I am writing songs and I'm also covering songs which appeal to a very few individuals. Like, most of the people are writing songs in Hindi first of all. There's a language problem that is there.
You write in English.
I write in English. I write and sing in English. Kind of stuff I write, even if I write it in English, people are used to stuff like Ed Sheeran.
I will ask you a question. Who is this people?
I'm more self-aware and mature about it.
Where are they?
That's the question. If I knew, that needs to be found.
If you are writing songs which appeal to people who are at a different level in the globe, and people who are listening to you are like eating varan baat in the throat. Problem?
Yeah. No problem.
Problem. So you need to again revisit saying who are the people you are trying to target, and are you being visible to them? How many followers you have on Instagram?
Right now, 640.
So your brand has to speak to people so that your visibility goes to where the people are. And one of the things I learned long back is that this world has abundance. You need to believe that the world has abundance and go after it.
Thanks a lot. It's been very helpful.
Good. Same here. Very nice to know about music industry.